Today's show is brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook, baby. We're talking about the top-rated sports booking app in all of North America, baby. Safe, secure, and my favorite, reliable. And we know NFL season is back in full effect, and we got action every single week with all of our favorite teams, favorite players, and what better way to add to the watching experience than by, putting a little bit of yourself into the game. And the best way to do that is with your promo codes, baby, which you already know we got to talk about. And the promo code is Moats for the new people out there. When you download that app, the beautiful DraftKings Sportsbook app, and you make your first initial bet of $5, use the promo code Moats. You will get $200 back instantly. It is an awesome situation for you and gives you a nice head start into all of the potential fun and potential, what we like to call success. So with that being the case, you see what time we are on. You know what this is, but I also understand at times you might get lost in the sauce. You might develop a gambling problem. If you live in New York, it's a number that you could text. But for everybody else, the digits to dial are 1-800-GAMBLER. Man, he did bring up the fact Brees Hall could have had about 200 on us. Yeah, man. We weren't looking pretty on that run defense. I low-key thought we was going to be more upset about that than the Broderick situation. I'm like, yo, we tripping on the Broderick. I'm like, bro, I know what that was, and we still dropped 34 on them folk. Say, well, what their run defense was looking like? Did y'all had an issue with that? Y'all was cool with what to y'all? Y'all let me know. What do y'all felt was more alarming? Broderick playing at left tackle or how our run defense was in week one? Because to me, the way that y'all have this passion about Broderick, that's how I look at this run defense before I look at Broderick like that. But I'm like, man, maybe I'm missing it. You know what I mean? Maybe the Jets, that interior part of their O-line is just that daggone dominant that they could get that much consistent movement. Maybe that's what it is, right? Because I know who Will McDonald is. I know who Quentin Williams is. I can say their names. I can say them around the league. And people can be like, dog, bigger dog. I mean, you know the Jets offense line. You heard names. All right, you tell me. Maybe I'm off. Maybe I don't know the people that I think I know. Maybe y'all know them better than me, all right? So, yeah, help me make it make sense. Y'all was more worried about Broderick than the run defense. And don't try to switch it up now because y'all already have shown yourself. Because before we even brought up run defense, all y'all talked about was Broderick. All y'all talked about was 77, super chats, regular chats, and we put 34. And like I said, that was Will McDonald and Quentin Williams. So please, I know we got to talk about this run deal. I know that because I don't want to just be randomly speaking out my behind. Let me make sure I pull up the Jets depth chart so I can make sure I name drop them the right way. All right. Because boy, I had to miss it, man. I know this got to be filled with all pros. Josh Myers, John. I know John Simpson. I'm actually very filled with John Simpson. Joe Tippmann. Yeah, those got to be first team all pro Pro Bowl type, right? Because the way we tripping on Broderick after Will McDonald and Quentin Williams. Oh, I know we got to be losing our mind about this. Oh, let's see what we say. Oh, now Aaron Gray. Run defense has to be big, man. Oh, okay. Now we want to talk the run defense. Oh, I'm putting y'all faces up here. Don't y'all be trying to play now. Now we want to talk the run. Oh, but now optimistic about the run defense. They're going to bounce back a week too. Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy, man. And this sums it up perfect right there, all right? I can't repeat it, but you know what they was playing like, man. God dang. Pittsburgh Ty said, well, Broderick might get Aaron Rodgers killed. He might. Well, Brees might run for 300 yards next time. You see this? He might. What about Derrick Henry? He might run for 500 yards, right? If we doing the Mike game. But he did it. He didn't get hurt. We saw Brees go crazy, though. We saw that. We know what Broderick accounted for, and we're going to talk about that. We actually did talk about that. But let's also talk about how many dudes are Will McDonald, right? We know in the division, you're going to see who? Trey Hendrickson, head dog, Myles Garrett, bigger dog, right? We're going down those are some dogs. But this Jets interior offensive line was not that. That to me is something that we do have to get fixed. And I do feel like week one, I have a lot more grace for the dudes, man. I looked at it and I said, man, you know what? Younger players on the interior part, right? Obviously, no Derek Harmon out there. I also looked at it, I said, man, Some of these dudes we do have higher expectations for, and they should at this stage be playing more consistent. But unfortunately, they still aren't. Some dudes are still playing with very high pad level, and that is making them look like they're on skates. And it's multiple interior D linemen. And part of that, I look and I have those questions of, okay, is it coaching? Is it the personnel? Is it the matchup? I look at these matchups from the Jets and I say, I don't think this is a bad matchup. I don't think this is one where we should have felt like we were at a disadvantage. In fact, I felt like we should have had an advantage in the situation. I thought Cam did his thing. I thought Cam was over here knocking folk back, being disruptive like we know he can do. But it was the other part of the congregation that wasn't as consistent. They would flash, get a good knockback on this play, but then the next time versus the double is like, whoa, baby, I'm seeing you moving back. You're too high. I should have you seeing your helmet. I should have you seeing your jersey. I should have you to read your numbers. Like, hey, bro, you are up. Like, you got to get your pad level down, man. But that's why we drafted Derek Harmon also, to make those others that we're speaking of either up their play or B, get them off the field so you can put the guy that can do that out there. That's the part that was a little bit frustrating to me, because I do feel like the dudes that were on those skates out there are better players than what they showed in that Jets game. And they will be the same ones to tell you that. They know that what they did and what was on that tape wasn't good enough. And it also had a chain reaction. I talked about the linebackers because, I'm an LB at heart. And I was critical of some of them dudes. And some of them I'm looking and I'm like, yo, part of that I get, that's wrong by you. But the other part is I get why you're doing that, because D-line is in your daggone face, man. If that D-line doesn't give, and especially our type of linebackers this year, we don't have the Landon Roberts type, right? We talk about Malik Harrison, but he still is a little bit smaller version or a little lesser version of a Landon Roberts, right? In terms of how he can see it and go get it, the physicality part. So when you're talking about rangy, athletic, smaller linebackers, Patrick Queen, Peyton Wilson, you got to keep them clean, man. And the mindset is those big dudes up front should be able to do that because they're winning the grass, right? Getting knocked back, getting 1 yard across the line of scrimmage, sitting down, hat hands, stag shed blocks, keep the OBs clean, let them dudes make the pretty plays, right? But it's hard for those guys to make those plays when D-line is giving up movement. And then from there, what ends up happening is the lack of trust. LB doesn't trust that D-lineman is going to be in his gap, so now you'll peak. Okay, you peak, that gets you out your gap, and now ball hits in your gap. That's the chain reaction off of it. So now you got to make sure that everybody's on the same page and everybody is doing what they're supposed to do within the confines of it. Otherwise, it doesn't matter if it's Breece Hall, it doesn't matter if it's Derrick Henry, it doesn't matter who the running back is. When you're not in your gap at this level, those dudes are hitting it, man. And the good ones, that's the difference between it being a 7-yard run and a 30-yard run, right? The special guys, we saw Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry makes one dude miss and it's 70. The good ones, right? Saquon, 70. But just the average ones, it's like, yo, that's a 20-yard gain. That's a 15-yard gain. That's an explosive run. And that's the thing that kills you as a defense, that kills what you're trying to do in terms of this, the flow, in terms of how you want to call the game, getting your pass rushes, the exotic stuff that we got with these secondary players. You lose all of that based on the simple element of stopping the run, man, because they're never behind the sticks. They're always in second and short, right? They're always in manageable situations where the offense has the advantage. And that's, like, to me, like I said, the frustrating part, because when I look, I'm like, yo, we have players that know how to make plays. We have players that actually are very smart and know what they're doing, but their skills become minimized due to that, the chain reaction, right? And that's the part where I look at those D linemen, I'm saying, man, y'all are better than that. Get your pads down. Them playing with better pad level is going to make that interior part of the run defense a lot better. LB's discipline. You got to trust that they're going to be where they're supposed to be in front of you, sit in your gap the way that you're supposed to sit there, and make the tackles that come to you. The beautiful part was this, though. I do feel like we tackled well. I just don't feel like we were in the right spots all the time, and that was largely why the rushing total looked as nasty as it did. I get some of the stuff schematically with Justin Fields, man, his ability to pull the ball, or even just the threat of the RPO or the zone, the QB run, it does slow you down. It does make you hesitant. And that in week one is a nice addition for offenses. But there were still certain things that took place in that game where you're like, no, dude, we've seen this a lot from these players, even dating back to a year ago. That's a different conversation. That's the part where I look and I say, yeah, we have to have more urgency there. But to me, man, pad level. When I look at the D line right now, pad level, and early on in the season, you understand that could happen. It's just frustrating though, because these aren't rookies per se that are showing that. That's the thing that you're like, man, if it's a young player, if it's a rookie, if it's the first time he's at this position, you have grace. If it's a matchup issue, man, you're going against a dude that we know is a certified killer. Cool, grace. But when it's a matchup that we're saying, hey, dude, we looked at you and felt like you should have the advantage here, and it turns out that it wasn't that, and you can make a case that it wasn't even, that you kind of got beat up on, that's the thing that we look and it makes you feel a little bit differently. So that was why I was a little bit more surprised. I for sure thought we were going to be having, 30-minute convo about the run defense, not Broderick like that today, but shout out to Broderick. All right, there you go. Y'all like that O-line talk, bro. I'm like, bro, we tripled on that one. I'm like, if that, no. This this can't be. This for sure can't be. That can't be happening, bro. Yeah, because we gonna play better O-line. We gonna play better interior offensive lineman, man. That can't look like that. D linemen and LBs in the interior part, you got to be better. And they know this. They watching that same tape I watch. They watch it the same way I watch it. We keep rewinding it back. Oh, all right. Let me rewind it back. Let me see what this player did. All right, let me rewind it back. Let me see what this player did. Oh, let me rewind it back. Let me see. Yeah, I might spend 5 minutes on one play. Be like, hold on, bro. Did I really see that? Why would you do that? And then you look at the next one, you're like, oh, but you got it right this time. Then why did you do it the first time then? And that's the other frustrating part. You will watch it or tape. You're like, bro, how's the same game? Sometimes the same series. And it's like, yo, you did well right here, but then you don't do it right here. And that's the human element part. But still, it's like, yo, you were out here for a reason. You're compensated. Some of these dudes nicer than others. You want to see more consistency with their game, man. But that for sure is frustrating, though, man. For sure is frustrating. But like I said, that's just from what I've seen, man. And obviously, I'm a little bit more passionate about that defense, man, because yeah, when you've been over there and you've linked it, you blinked, you bled on that thing, man. You're like, hold on, man, that matters a little bit more now. All right, you better hold true to this thing, man. Hold the daggone line, boy. You better don't you be over here dropping that, man. Don't you make over here looking at it like that, man. You know better than that, man. Come on now, come on. But honestly, that's what I feel though, and I know we don't like to do this because we're the Steelers. It's always we're the best, and when we aren't the best, then it means we suck. But how many of y'all would say that Justin Fields played really good too? Did anybody feel, or maybe I was the only one? I thought Justin Fields had a heck of a game, one of his best showings as a professional. But maybe that was just me. Maybe y'all looked at Justin Fields and was like, oh, that's Chicago Justin Fields. That's trash Justin Fields, man. That won't nice. Maybe that's the case. Maybe y'all don't like Breece Hall. Breece Hall has been a productive player in this league when he's been healthy. Shoot, you know what me and TG call him? The faster L Bell. Because that's what his game is like in terms of his ability to slow you down, but also hit it in terms of the home run, contact, bounce, catch out the backfield. We like him. I like Breece Hall a lot. Heck, I hope the Jets don't sign him and he can find a way to come over here because I think he'll be a very nice addition. He's a really good player. I obviously see the Jets a lot more because, with the old squad, Bills. So when I watch them, I'm watching that Jets team. I've seen Breece for the last couple of years. I've seen Will McDonald the past couple of years. Seen Quentin Williams the past couple of years. So when I speak about these dudes, I'm speaking from the experience of I don't just watch them when they play against us. I'm watching them against other teams as well. And they got left tackle that's all pro over there, Pro Bowler. I know what Will McDonald makes that look like at times. That's all I'm saying. I know what Quentin Williams has made that look like. That's all I'm saying. So if it could happen to a Deion Dawkins, I'm sorry. I just got a little bit more grace from Roderick. That's all, man.